welcome to today's lesson, and today we will be penetrating a vulnerable machine. And this is just me doing my normal simulation about penetration testings, machines and websites, vulnerability assessment. And yeah, this is a pure black box testing where we will be going into the whole machine and trying to find as much vulnerability as we can and trying to see if we can actually exploit it and how we can exploit it. Journey with me. And once again, my name is Samuel, popularly known as Big Sam, and welcome to the Quantum Forge basement. So yeah, today we will be going into a particular site, and the name of the site is Vulnhub. So what Vulnhub do is you have a whole lot of virtual machines that you can actually use, you can actually play with. So they have Kioptrix, they have web security, they have Axor, they have Picky Palace, a whole lot of them. You can just download it. It is safe. It is not the one that will actually destroy your host machine. So you can just download, and once you download, then it is on. You check the compatibility virtual machine. Mine is actually running on VM Workstation Pro. So you just go. The one we are using exactly is Kioptrix level 1. Level 1, then you just download. But I've downloaded it already, so I'll just go straight to my Kali. It's my virtual machine rather, and this is it. This is my Kioptrix, and this is my Kali. Now, the first thing we actually want to do now is we have our attacking machine, which is a Kali, and we have our target machine, which is the Kioptrix. So the important thing here is to bridge the two networks. We're trying to make the two machines to see each other so that they can communicate to each other and be on the same network. So guys, welcome back to the section. Now, after installing our virtual machine, the two virtual machines, everything, this is where it gets interesting, because in cybersecurity generally you tend to meet up a whole lot of issues, a whole lot of configurations you have to do. But I want you to take note of something. If once you set your network adapter to bridge automatic, then you can actually tick the box here just the way it is showing here. Then you go to your Kali Linux again, you repeat the same thing, the bridge and replicates physical network connection states. But on your VMware, going to the network editor here, take note of all this VMnet 0 custom, VMnet 1 host only, VMnet 8 NAR, because this custom actually we pick up some of the things we'll be needing, and the VMnet, the NATs, we actually allow us to access the internet. And there is one thing I want to show us here. I actually had issue while I was trying to set up the whole configuration because I couldn't connect to the internet. That was why I actually I have to end the video the other time. So when you do IP config, now when you do your IP config here, you're seeing that on our Wi-Fi we are having IP address of 192.168.0.104. Definitely all devices, or let me say, yeah, all devices connected to this particular Wi-Fi will be on 192.168.0 subnet network. So now, and this is our gateway here, .0, 192.168.0.1. So knowing that already, let us go into our virtual machines. So power on our Kioptrix, come to Kali. Okay, yeah, power it on also. So once it is on and our terminals is actually up, I'll come back to this video. Thank you. Alright, now you can see our virtual machine is set and ready to be explored, and this is our Kioptrix opened here, and this is our Kali. So the first thing we want to confirm here, even though this is not the first thing I always do whenever I want to work, but the first thing to confirm in this case is to confirm if we are actually connected to the internet. And you can see we are actually receiving the response, and you can actually cut that. And the second thing is if our IP address is already allocated. Yeah, voila, you are connected to your device. My main computer is the window, and our Kali is actually picking a particular IP from the network there. So now we can actually clear here. So the next thing I'll always advise to everyone that want to work on Kali is, because Kali is an open source and every day by day there might be updates or upgrade you never know about. So you can just do sudo apt updates. One thing about Kali that is actually a great thing is you can be working on a particular terminal, and if what you're doing is actually taking time, you can just move to the other terminal and you'll be cool with anything you are doing. But I want to use this terminal because I want everything I want to be doing be updated. I want the latest version of any tool we will be touching here. So let's just wait a little bit while it keeps loading. We have 5 stages of ethical hacking. We have the reconnaissance, we have the scanning and enumeration, we have the exploitation, we have maintaining assets, and we have covering tracks or post exploitation. You need to be very careful and keen into your reconnaissance stage, because this actually gives you an overview of what you want to do. This actually gives you the whole stage of, okay, this is a body system. Alright, so now the next thing we want to do personally is, okay, I want to clear this terminal, and I always love to work within a directory or probably work within a particular folder so that I can have my work tailored in one place. You can see, so let me move directory to desktop. What is in there? Alright, let me try and create a new directory. Let me call it Kioptrix. ls. Alright, cd Kioptrix, ls. Alright, now we are in the folder we actually want to start our work. To also make every of this thing much more documented, while you have every evidence or screenshots of anything you're taking or you're doing, I always advise you putting, there's this particular command you're going to run now that will capture your terminal, both your command and the response, and the output is to capture it into a particular folder. So it is scripts, telling you to write a script. Let me say some Kioptrix.log. You can see session script started, output log file is. So what this thing actually do is, anytime anything you're running on this particular terminal is saved, either you're wrong, either you're right, is saved in this particular file, in this particular log, under this particular, in this particular directory rather. So as you all know, the first thing in our ethical hacking process is reconnaissance. And what is reconnaissance? In layman language, reconnaissance is trying to gather as much information as possible about a particular target devices or a target machine. So what
there are several tools you can use in reconnaissance depending on what exactly you have, depending on the particular information you have at hand. So we have NSLOOKUP, we have DNS, you have dig, you have Nmap. But Nmap is actually a very amazing tool, as it will give you like much more overview of what you want to do. But before we run our Nmap, there are things we need to know. There are things we need to know before we run our Nmap, and part of what we need to know is our IP address. See, so you can see our IP address is 192.168.0.109, and this is our subnet mask, and we are running on /24. So that means our gateway will be 192.168.0.1, and also our network mask will be .0.0/24. So as you know, Nmap, so Nmap is a very amazing tool in Kali, and it is known as network mapping. From the word network mapping, you're trying to map out a particular network, and there's something you call flags. Flags is this particular thing, something you add to a particular tool or command. You trying to tell him that, okay, this is the exact thing that I want. And you can see Nmap-H is giving like the F section, that okay, I want you to tell me everything that I need, every command that is under this and everything. So you can just read up. You'll be using Nmap because we want to let us scan as a root user, because we really want to scan the whole network. But what we are trying to get first is we want to know all devices running on this particular network. So from what we add here, you can see we have our IP address to be 192.168.0.109/24. so definitely our network will be .0.0. you can see it here, .0.0. but what we'll be doing is 192.168.0.0/24. let's do SN to check for available devices. Yeah, so one thing about this particular flag or command is to bring the whole MAC address, because there are times that you might, from the MAC address, you might actually like just have an overview of what particular device is this. And yeah, my password, because I'm running as a root user. Voila. So normally I just believe this is a very safe space, even though I know it may not. So the thing is, you have your Intel corporate, you have your VMware, you have your TP-Link, and you have everything. And you can see that this particular 109 is our IP address. Is this particular machine IP address, and we have some other ones, but this is not giving, okay, this is Kioptrix, this is not Kioptrix, this is this is this. We need to really know. And now there are little things we just need to do. There are some stuff we need to run, but before that, let us try and add some particular flag that will allow us to also map out the IP very well. 192.168.0.0 /24 SN. So yeah, there's something they call pipe. For those of us that has actually done bash scripting, pipe is if you're trying to join like two or more commands together. You're telling it that, okay, run this thing, why run this thing, run this thing also, why run this thing, run this thing also. So what we actually, the command we are given, we are adding to it here is, okay, grep, find anything that has 4, which are all this particular thing, and give us that space only. That's why you're seeing that this particular line is showing, this particular line is showing. Every other thing that is not having 4 is not actually showing. So that's one command that can actually help to probably safeguard, because the probability I'll actually block this particular MAC address. So another thing I want to do here is we want to just have this IP address only. We do not need all of these scan reports for stuff like that. So to do that, we do the same thing. Okay, after for what else, you can remember the meaning of the grep that I said. Alright, don't worry, with time you get to understand this particular command that I'm doing. Did I get here? So what we really, that is one thing I'm just saying about, I was actually saying about pipe. So what pipe do is you can actually add more commands or what you want to run inside a particular command in one single line. So you're telling it, okay, Nmap, scan for this particular network, scan for all available devices on this network. Then we need the line that asks for, which is this. But in the line that asks for, cut the space. You can see from here, this particular space here, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's what you're seeing, F5. Cut it out. So while cutting it, we're having this IP address only. You get it? So like I said, there are several tools in Kali that you can actually use that will help you, because on a normal ground, what we are supposed to do here, we should just start picking each of these IP, even though they are not much. We start picking each of these IP and start doing HTTP to run on the server, because there's something we know about. There's this an overview about our Kioptrix that we should have an idea of. Okay, that this our particular machine, that our particular machine is a Linux machine, and a Linux machine always have this Apache server of a thing. But in case, or let me say, in situation whereby you have several devices connected to it and you're trying to just map it out, which one is my own, which one is my own, stuff like that. So that is why you need to have some tools. So there is this particular tool they call EyeWitness. It has almost the same logo like Nmap. This particular EyeWitness. So what EyeWitness do is that we want to check each IP on the network, and we want to put it inside a web browser. If it gives an Apache like sites, then we know that this is a Linux based distro server. On HTTP, then IP address 0. What EyeWitness does is it actually helps us to do that. Assuming we are having 100 IP on this particular network now, it will bring everything out, and EyeWitness will start doing the whole thing in the background. But to do that, let us go back to our Kali. Let us see if EyeWitness is actually installed. I'm not sure. Do you want to install it? Alright. Now, there is another thing we need to do while using EyeWitness, is we need to have all these our IP inside a particular text file. And to have that, since we are already in the directory of where we want to work, you can do nano ip.txt. Can I really remember this thing very fast? let me use ipk.txt. So yeah, we have our text file here, and we can paste, Ctrl X. Yeah, let us go into this. So let us do, we are going to run EyeWitness. Good. Then the file name is ipk.txt. Remember, we are in the directory of the file. Then the output, the directory will be IPI. Let us just have it as IPI, and let us see what's up. You can see starting web request for hosts, because we have just 4 IP addresses. If you have other hosts connected on this particular device or this particular router, then you have them listed out here. So, and another thing that EyeWitness does is that it takes screenshots. That is why it is called EyeWitness. The folder you are creating is where you can interact with the screenshot and every other output is given. So let's wait while attempted to screenshot host, attempted to screenshot without limiting. So one thing is, if it is actually sending a request back, there is probability that it is not there's not a server. Might actually be a phone or other devices. Okay, WebDrive error. And I think the first thing you can see, done. We like to open the report now. No. Alright, so you can actually let us go to the folder together and see what's up. Okay, this is just, let me cancel it. Let me cancel this and let me release. Okay, so you can see I'm waiting for this to close. So what we're going to do here is we are going to go to the folder and check what is inside. Ooh. So we know that our folder is desktop. Is it Kioptrix? IPI, that's it. Now you can see that the request is actually bringing something amazing. I feel like, okay, what can we do? Let us go to screen. Let us check. This is the router I'm connected to. This is the router. It does one amazing thing about EyeWitness. It will bring, to give you a screenshot of what you're doing, so you will have evidence to back anything you are saying up. Voila! This is the server. This is the server. This is the server. And for us to test it, if you want to confirm if that is it or not, you can see this is the IP here, HTTP, stuff like that. Then, though it has some other amazing tools. You can see source. What's the source of this? When you want to open it, you can see. Okay, let me expand it. Your site description. This is what is on that particular image we actually viewed now. So I think we don't need this. Let us go to other thing. Let me see this. This might be okay. This was the report of what we did. Fine. The report in HTML. Error 2. This is just the report in HTML. So for us to also confirm very well, if you want to confirm, okay, do we truly meet up with what we want to do? You can see you can do HTTP GHTTP. Is it taking me to Ghana? 192.168.0.107. Voila. On a normal ground, you will not see it, and definitely you can see that there is no other devices on this network that could actually give that, because this is just the two devices connected to it. So and also we breached the network. Remember, we breached it, so Kali can easily see Kioptrix. Assuming we did not breach it, probably okay, we just want to have this particular bridging that happens around, just trying to do your ARP spoofing for Wi-Fi hacking, and that will be on another video, actually say. So we knowing that okay, this is the only thing, or this is the only device that is connected to this, and we have enough evidence already. EyeWitness has given us what we need, so you can just play around. You can come to blog what is in there. Okay. The good security, come to login. Yeah, login usually gives us a very amazing thing, because yeah, we can actually do a simple simulation on. You can do a brute force hacking here. Security, let me check. Okay, going back. See now. Wow. So what you are basically doing here is you're trying to just go around, play around the website and see if there are informations that are actually leaked. There are times that you might actually have server disclosure. You might have a whole lot of flags all around that normally you shouldn't have. So that's what we're trying to do here. Okay, let's see what the home give us. Oh, okay. Yeah, voila, you can see we are now having kioptrix3.com/gallery/index.php, and this actually give us this full highlight that yeah, we are actually in the right IP addressing. We're actually using the right IP rather, sorry. Let me just go back to where we are coming from. So yeah, as we have gotten, or let me say, as we've known our IP address, the next thing we want to do is face our face. Now we want to face a particular IP, and what we want to run is we want to run Nmap on this particular IP. Let us see what is actually going on this IP. And remember, the IP we got for it is, I'm trying to see, okay, 107. Good. 192.168.0.107. Remember, we are not using the 0, so we don't need *24 again. Then we want to time it, like, you know, the timing then should be between 4 is actually very cool. And now the meaning of this command is sudo nmap. We want to scan this particular port, and the timing should be 4. The range we are given is 0 to 5, so I'm just cool with 4. You can use 2, you can use 0. But this particular command IP dash is, we don't want to limit our scanning to a particular port. We want to scan every port on this particular machine. As we want to limit our stuff to a particular port, you have a particular port in mind you want to like map out. You can do something like port 22, 23, 24, port 443, ports 80. So it feel like okay, you want to scan a particular port, but this -p is like you want to scan a port, and -a is you want to scan it aggressively to give us the whole operating system, the server, the version, and everything. So it might actually takes time, yeah, but I just think it will not take much time. Why it is running? Because it is doing a very aggressive scanning. We now want to have some other tools. Look, just an overview of some other tools we might just have to like play around with. Okay, I think this is, what's this? This is okay, our EyeWitness stuff. So let us clear. I think it is done. What's this? Okay, let me just cancel this. Alright, so you can see this is our IP not shown, 65,533 rather. So we are seeing 22 TCP open, SSH, we have our HTTP open, amazing, and we are seeing Apache 2.2.2.8. we have our MAC address, we have our device type. You can see it's running on Linux, like I said, a Linux kernel, Vulnhub, and service, the operating system is Linux. And which other thing you can just play around, this is the host key, encryption type DSRSA, and the HTTP type 2 LGOT. Because there are times you feel like, oh, we are not seeing Kioptrix, and you can see that it is after we now go into the whole IP stuff that we are actually seeing the Kioptrix stuff. And yeah, we are actually heading somewhere. You can see where is detection and everything. Now is we are going into HTTP enumeration, and HTTP enumeration is where you want to like have an overview or understanding about a particular port that is open and how you can exploit that port. Remember our next stage. And also don't forget there are several things you might actually want to do or want to look up to in this particular thing. You might even want to dig deep, but the main thing is you having overview. You can even go to the web, and where is the server? Where is, okay, HTTP server. All you're trying to do here is you just want to type it to Google and let it give you like, is this particular thing, what are the vulnerabilities, and is it updated, is it the latest one? You can see. So let us see. You can actually add some other thing. Alright, you can actually add some, okay, let me use so can you say this page is all security vulnerability fix? So one thing about reconnaissance, you get to search more things that you feel like, okay, this is what you can actually use, and you read more. You can see this list all security vulnerability fixed in the version. So from the security vulnerability fix, you can have an idea of, okay, this is what you can do. You can see HTTP met unusual HTTP. You can see authentication bypass. So this is actually giving you this whole psychology that part of what you should be looking into is how to bypass authentication. Okay, alright, which other thing? Buffer override. So one thing about this buffer override is, in case of DOS attack, make sure you are very careful when running any penetration testing you are doing. Don't run a DOS attack, because when you're trying to run a DOS attack, fine, you're trying to see if the server could actually hold on to a particular if you could hold to a particular, what's it called, a particular request, but you are actually might be disrupting the organization service while they are running. CRLF injection, so this is request forgery. You can change the order of anything that you want to buy. You can change it. You can there's this Bob suits. You can intercept the traffic, change order, or change anything you want to change there. So these are vulnerabilities, and these vulnerabilities will actually give you an overview that okay, this is what you will be looking into. Can you see denial of service? What you'll be looking into, okay, you want to exploit this, you want to exploit this, you want to exploit this. Now I'm actually feeling like okay, yeah, I can actually exploit, I can do the DOS because this is my machine. I can do denial of service, I can do what other thing? Okay, I can do bypass, processing bypass, I can do request forgery. There are a whole lot of things here that can actually give you this. That's why this CVE stuff is actually very cool, because immediately they are having any vulnerability like this, it is documented for weak penetration testers. So you can see the DOS is actually very much. You love DOS here. Command injection, you can do your SQL injection and whole lot of things. Quite, that's fine. So, and another thing you will want to look out for or want to have an idea of is port 22 might be an target because it is TCP, but port 80 HTTP, of course, you know, HTTP is not secured. If I want to start now, I might be looking into how I can get into HTTP and come back to 22 later on. So, and which other thing there? Assuming we have other protocol that is opened, especially SMB. I even thought we have SMB opened. SMB has a very bad record of vulnerabilities. Like they have a very, very wide record of things. So another thing where we might actually be thinking of doing is directory busting. We know that within a particular website they might have a whole lot of things going on, but don't worry, we'll be doing directory busting and much more explanation on this particular research or our findings in the next video. Catch up. Thank you, and yeah, this is my first time of doing a recording like this, or let me say documenting my research, and I wish to do more and support. So